How are you doing today? My name is Mr. Flash. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Flash. Leo gave me instructions to say the guest that we're gonna have. The first question I should ask is, why are you gay?
Why?
So why are you gay?
At the moment, I will not be commenting. I'll wait for my lawyer's presence before I comment on that question. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So, dude, what program are you doing at the moment?
Currently, I'm taking BAF, finishing this June. Hope to graduate.
No, amazing. And you seem like a very busy person.
Yes,
Like,
I actually.
apart from school, what else are you involved in?
Okay, so apart from school, I'm an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Got a jewelry business.
The what?
Jewelry business.
You are okay. Yeah, so, amazing.
I'm into designing as well. Into designing. I'm into football, soccer. I'm a coach. I coach my under 16s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you own the club or it's somebody's
No.
club?
It's not someone's club. Do you know Foze?
Yes.
Yes. That's where I coach.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing stuff.
Apart from that, one of the main things I would like to point out is that I'm a Sunday school teacher as well.
Amazing. You are what I would call a hyphenate, right? You're not just involved in one thing. You're involved in a lot of different. Where does that come from?
Where does that come
Why
from?
do you do so much? Because some people are just content with doing one thing.
One
So
thing,
for you,
yeah.
why are you so involved in so many?
Okay, so for me, I've always been brought up in the sense that we're on this earth to add value to the earth. You understand?
Yes.
So, the question I always ask myself when I wake up in the morning is, how are they going to remember me? How are they going to remember Mr. Flash? What did Mr. Flash do that people can see tangibly? Not just saying, so speaking to say, no, you used to do this, or what can they see, or whatever. What has he produced?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah. I mean, what you're saying sort of marries with my definition of success.
Sure.
Like, I define success as dying empty. And what I mean by that is I'm here to utilize every gift that I have, every idea that I have, every potential that I have. I must leave it here.
Sure.
So I'm trying to die empty, right? Which is why when I meet people like you, I get excited as in, so there's people out there that are involved in so many activities and they're trying by all means to use whatever
talents and gifts.
Exactly, you know what I mean?
And also, just to add on to your point, in the Bible, the scripture that says, if you don't use your talent, it's going to be given to someone else.
Yes.
Every individual in the world has a talent.
Yes.
Whether you believe it or not, female or male, even the children have talents. Yes.
Yeah.
From my experience of Sunday school, I've seen children who would would do skits. I would teach them performance. Maybe on the church Sunday school church here, I would practice on a Saturday. So I would see how committed they are to the drama. How they would act. So they actually cry. Tears would come out. Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's talent. We need to have this thing that's in our leaders, that we need to bring out those gifts in people, those talents.
Yeah.
They shouldn't just keep them hidden.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with you. And speaking of the Bible, you sort of remind me of the scripture. I think it should be 1 Corinthians chapter 12, where it talks about the body of Christ.
Yes, of course.
And now Christ himself was trying to explain to us about how there's so many different parts in the human body.
Yeah.
But each part has got a role to play. And each role is very important because without the hand, other parts of the body would struggle.
How would you eat without a hand?
Exactly. But again, I wouldn't be able to smell the food.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be able to see the food. So
each
part. Yeah, that's so dope. I agree with you. But let's talk entrepreneurship. Why was it something that, when did it spark for you? Was it something that you wanted to do even when you were a little bit younger than this? Or maybe was it you saw somebody doing and you're like, I want to do entrepreneurship because I want to get into the business?
Okay, so what I would start from is that my mom. Yes. Her mom, she's always been into business, trying to get small money. Because honestly, in life, you'll get a job, yes, you graduate, like as we have graduate. You may not find a job. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do?
I hear you.
So you cannot survive in this current day and age with only salary. Yes. So that's been instilled in us from my mom from as young as 12. When I was 12 years old, I would start to sell clothing, shoes. I would.
12 years old.
Yes,
Jesus
12
Christ. Yeah.
Yeah, so she would go together. I'm not really selling on my own, but I would escort my mom to say, no, okay. She would take us with her and we would be free. So, yeah, you want to play outside, it's okay with your friend and whatnot. But she would take us to say, no, come and see what I'm doing. And I would say, okay, fine. So when I was 15, that's when I started.
Amazing, man. I mean, as you speak, I'm trying to now understand your circle, right? Was it just your mom? Were you close to that level where you like didn't have other people in your life apart from you that sort of inspired you or had a conversation with you about business? Because it's not a lot of kids today that are 12 years and could do that as in selling shoes and stuff like that. They just want to get mom's phone, play video games or whatever stuff like that. So now I'm thinking like, what was your circle like? Where you not looked at as a weird, like, dude, you're supposed to be having fun, playing around. You're only 12 years old. Why are you taking life so seriously?
I was actually laughed at, to be honest with you.
For real?
Yes, I was. Even when I was in grade 11, grade 12. Yeah. I would, after we would close, yeah. So I would work for this company called, I can't really remember, but they would sell watches. Yeah, so jewelry, that's when the passion of jewelry started.
Amazing. I was about to ask that.
Exactly. So from when I would close, my friends would go to the gym and whatnot, soccer, some would club, drinking, whatnot. But I wouldn't associate myself with that because to say my vision was to say I need to have a business by this age. And that was by 18. And that was the target I set for myself. Between 18 and 20, I should have a business running. My business, making me enough profit to say I can have pocket money for bundles, for talk time, for what transport money, to sustain myself because my parents would always be there.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started.
Amazing, man. I mean, and that's the dopest thing about this podcast, right? You get to get life gems about
the actual things
that you would need, because people are stingy with the information, right? So for me, when I sit down with people like you that are not stingy with the information, they are willing to give it out for free, because this is information that other people would charge you for and say, you see these motivational speakers, actually, you know what I mean?
Recently, I was in Zimbabwe. Yes, so I
you are not Zambian, by the way, right?
No, not Zambian. Yeah, so
from Zimbabwe?
From France.
Amazing.
So when I was born, I came to Zambia.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually, this last year, when we closed the semester, I was in Zimbabwe. So I have a target to say I need a YouTube channel. That's my next step. YouTube, TikTok, socials, whatnot.
Yeah, because social media is a very powerful
one of the most powerful.
Yeah.
If you want to market anything, marketing, and for me to market what I sell.
Yeah, social media.
So I met this lady. I won't mention the name, but she sent an email to say, no, my name is this, whatnot, I big help. I'm into Zimbabwe, can you help me? Yes. So now she would reply back to me and to say, okay, yes, I understand. In between the email, she would put, so I charge $50 per hour, and just when I read that, I had to close
exactly, because people are not willing.
Listen, I understand information. I mean, when you go to like a platform, when you're speaking to an audience, that's when you can set up charge.
Yes.
That's when it's a one-on-one.
You don't necessarily exactly.
And I was new to the area. I didn't know where to stay, how much is this, and they use dollars in different currency. You understand? Yeah, and the language is speak Shona. Yes, some maybe Zulu, although they do understand English. Some of them also, But in terms of transport, it's a whole different environment. So I needed help. And the person was saying, no, I charge $50 per hour.
So between like the businesses that you're trying to build, right? How does school come into play?
How does school come into
play? What are you trying? Because you could say, you know what, I don't need this school thing. Let me focus on building this business. Okay. Where does school come into play? How do you marry the two?
Okay, so the most important thing I would advise is to have at least one paper. Don't finish grade 12 and say, no, I'll open a business. No, it's not going to work. someone who's finished grade 12, who's fresh out of school, and you who's maybe even in second year, third year, even before you would finish, you have the knowledge, you understand a lot more. Innovation, marketing, economics, how the market works, you know what I mean? How to advertise, how to speak to people, preferences. You can't, for example, in Zambia, what I've noticed is that these airtel booths, there's too many around in the same area. So who's making profit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's too competitive.
It's too competitive.
Right?
Yes. So for you to understand the competitive environment, there's a whole lot of the pastel stuff and whatnot. You need to have
analysis that you need
how
to
are
do.
you going to SWOT analysis? How are you going to get that information? Where are you going to get it from? Yes. You understand?
Deep, yeah.
So finish, yes, you can have the business, have that idea, have that plan. That's very important, yes. Have at least one paper, a degree. Even a diploma is fine. It's fine with me. Go to NIPA, yeah, go to NIPA, go to Unilas, do something. The marketing course right now, the lowest I've seen of time is 2 years. Just 2 years and you're done.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's not that long.
That's dope, man. I mean, hearing you speak right now, right, I'm thinking of your journey to get to where you are today. I know, like, there's so much you want to do, right? You haven't settled yet where you're now at the point where you're saying, I think this is it. I'm good. But just for you to be where you are right now today, I'm thinking the challenges that you experience, the setbacks, the failures, because when I see somebody in a position of maybe success, regardless of, I don't know what criteria people use to measure success, right? But for somebody in your position, like, to get to where you are today, what would you say was like one of your worst experiences that you had that made you feel like this business thing, this school thing, I'm done? Was there a moment where you went through that? And
on the spot,
how did you even bounce back?
On the spot, I've never really had like a really bad setback. Maybe in the beginning, because you need capital to start a business. Yes. So I'll try to talk to my uncle to say, no, I need this amount. So when you don't have the capital and you need someone else, some of the people would put you down to say, no, this business is not going to work.
Yeah.
You understand?
I've experienced that.
Yes. Yeah. So when you do experience that, it's your idea. You don't need to tell every single individual. So you need particular people in your circle who you trust and say, no, this is my idea, this is my vision. Can you help me?
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
So to avoid the thing of, no, it might not work, it might not this, look at the examples inside first of all. Before you go into a particular niche of a business, who's the most successful? The categories, who's the lower,
who's at the bottom, who's at the top.
How competitive is before you actually step into that business? To avoid that issue of, saying you started this business, you spent 5,000 quarter capital, and then there's no profit after a year. So that's the thing, the one thing I would tell the audience.
Yeah, but now I want to ask you how can, if there's somebody out there right now that's thinking of starting a business, right? How do they raise their capital? Especially if they don't come like from some rich family, they don't have a rich uncle that can give them capital, can invest in their business. How does somebody raise capital?
How does somebody raise capital? Well, there are multiple ways of raising capital. You will have to become creative. What I did is washing cars. I worked at a car wash for 6 months. At first, they would say, okay, because I was grateful. I just finished school and I had to explain to the worker to say, no, can I speak to your boss? They would say, I'm busy, wait. So you sit down and wait. So I had to speak to the boss to say, no, for the first 1 week, let me wash the car, see how I'm doing. If you like how I'm working, then we can talk about payment. So have the mindset to say, let me work for this person for free for a period of time, and agree to say, no, how am I doing? How's my performance? After that period, start to pay. And before you actually, just to add on, before you actually start your own business, try to have the mindset of say, work for someone who's in that business. Yes. Work for someone who's in that business, so you can at least have a bit more experience before you run it yourself. Understand? Because it's a bit difficult to say you finish grade 12 or you're still in school, you're a student, and then now you want to begin it on your own. It's
it's a bit challenging.
I don't advise that.
I hear you. What you're describing is a process, right? Like you don't just wake up and become like you. And that's the problem with people from my generation. It's like you want to think it today, then tomorrow you have it. You know, it's a process that you have to go through. It's a thing. You know, it's people don't understand that whenever you see a successful person, regardless of the amount of success that they have, it didn't happen in one day. It wasn't an overnight thing. It was the small efforts that they put in every day.
Small steps.
Exactly, and they went through a certain
like I mentioned, when every day I wake up, I remind myself, what are people going to remember Mr. Flash as?
What has he done?
How has he impacted my life? How have I impacted your life? You understand?
Yeah. That's the legacy. I mean, we should be able to talk about you and the impact that if 10 years from now you're not here, we should be able to say, well, Flash was a guy that made this happen. He opened this door for this people. He did this. He helped me get this connection. That's the legacy. And I don't know if you're familiar with this lead singer, Whitney Houston. Right? She sold about 100 million records, and then she committed suicide. So I was thinking to myself to say, why would somebody commit suicide with that bunch of money? And I'm like,
so why would you do it?
And we're all chasing success, right? And that's why I say, number one, have your own definition of success. What is success for you? Not what Flash deems as success, but what is success for you? Because if success for Flash is owning 2 private jets or, having a mansion in every country in Africa, and if I look at that and I say, that's what I want. What if tomorrow you wake up and that's no longer the definition of success? So it's like I'm chasing your success.
Someone else's vision, someone else's dream.
Exactly. I'm not really.
Every individual.
Exactly. That's why I came up with my own to say I just want to die empty. That's what for me success is. So what I want to ask you is, I was having this conversation I think 2 weeks ago with somebody who is also running a small business, right? He's into baking. Okay. Right, so when he bakes these cones, we call them muffins, right? Cupcakes. So he supplies to like 7 shops. So he said something like, "Why is it that?" He was complaining about how when he looks at the expenses that he has on a day-to-day basis
to actually make
and the amount that he gets from the business, saying it's killing him. It's making it difficult for him to invest the money back when he makes profit because he has rent to pay, he's got transportation to cover, he's got relatives to help. Exactly. So how does somebody handle that? Like what advice would you give to such a person?
Partnership. Partner with someone. You may not be you may be a fresh business, yes. Find even not the biggest, the most successful competitor. Someone in between to say, no, okay, I'm having these troubles. Can we partner? What can I supply you? What can you supply me? Can we work together? You understand? Like what's the word? Not franchising, but just a partnership. You can have a contract to say, okay, we can work together for this period of time. I can produce this the product, the flour, the milk, the sugar. I can supply that for you. I know someone who can supply that. So it's very important as well just to have connections. Connections in life that's a bonus.
I mean, they say your network is your network.
The people you surround yourself with.
Yes. I can attest to that as well.
Yes. If I've got friends, let's say your net worth is let's say 1 million kwacha net. If you're my friend, I should have that level to say, okay, I need to get there. It's the motivation that
it should motivate me.
Surround yourself with people who are better than you. Yes, who are better than you or on the same level. You understand? Don't have the mentality to say, no, I want to be the best amongst my friends. If you reach that stage of being the best, find new friends. Keep a few who are below you. Of course. Find new friends. Get new connections. Who's better than me? Currently. Yes.
And what you're saying about also being around with people that are like below you, I think the toughest thing about, and this is something that I used to get that used to piss me off
Yeah.
back then, like, so because you and I are very similar in so many ways. Like, I'm a guy that wants so much out of life, like,
Of course.
and especially when I know that I'm gifted, I'm talented, and I've been given all these potentials by God, I want to go out there and get it. But sometimes the people that you are coming up with don't want so much as you want. So sometimes you get to a certain level and you try to give them a hand and say, let's grow together. Let's go. But somehow they're trying to like pull you down because they're so comfortable where they are, right? But for you, you see so much. You start a business, right? You start one business. You master it. You're like, okay, now I can branch out. You master this one. You're like, okay, I can branch out. I just don't want to be like a CEO of one company. Especially now when I'm at a level where I can delegate and other people to do all these things for me. So like how now today, like how do you pick your circle? Like how do you first of all, do you even have friends? Because I've noticed that most people are into business and rarely have friends. Because people see you as a brand instead of like a real person. See you as a brand.
I try as much as possible to be open, even with my clients. I've had this client for one or two of these clients. So I also do consoles, PS4, PlayStation.
For real?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. We need to talk after this.
Yeah, so controllers. I have this client, Chalala. Yes, so we met last year, June, July. So he wanted the console, 2 controllers, some CDs, some things. I went there, talked to him to say, no, his budget was not what was required.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fine, because he has children as well. Okay, fine.
He has children?
No, not me. The client. No, not yet. Okay, so I had to say, and I was the agent of. I wasn't those products were not mine. The console were not. I was selling them for someone else. So I had to call that and say, no, this is a client. Please help them. They only have half the amount, and we can have an agreement. They can pay the rest of the end of the month. So that's how it started. So now he's been my client for almost 3 years.
Amazing.
So anything he needs, calls me, Flash, I need GTA 5, I need God of War, I need FIFA. Yeah, how much is it? Okay, how much do you have? Okay, let me see what I can do. I'm doing something currently, maybe 2-3 hours later, I call him to say, okay, this is the price. Can I transfer it to you or should I bring it personally? If I bring it. That's how it goes.
Amazing. 2 questions I want to ask, right? Like, how many minutes have we gone so far? Okay, so the first question is, what's like the best business advice somebody has ever given you?
The best?
Yeah, the best, the one that you feel like transformed your life in a way, or your businesses.
On the spot.
Okay. Well, there's a lot.
There are. Number 1, passion. Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy it. Let's say in a workplace, you're my boss. I'm the employee. You're mistreating me. You're not so polite. You don't smile to the subordinates. I'm not enjoying the work environment. You know what I mean? So enjoy what you're doing. Don't go into a business because there's so much profit to be made. No, it's not about making the profit. So, but enjoying yourself. It's life. Do you understand?
I love that.
Yes. It's not that. For me, what I do, I enjoy what you do. I really enjoy what
I can tell.
Yes. So enjoy what you do. Have the passion for it. So that's why you need to figure out what you enjoy. What do you like? What are you into? Do you understand? Your friend you might not be into what your friend is into. Your friend is making so much profit. You can see your friend is making this, but you're not into that. So why would you do it? You won't be enjoying it. Even your clients would say that. I would go to some shops, as an example, Manda Hill. I went to this, I needed a watch. So I went to this place, Manda Hill, and at the cashiers at the customer service. Yeah, I could see that the way he was serving me. You can just see, you can just see the person is enjoying it. You're not enjoying what
he's doing it for the seller.
Doing it for the seller. Yeah. So don't do it for that reason. Do it for the reason that you are enjoying it, and the profits will come after. They will come eventually. Of course. So that's one thing.
Just to add on to that, I feel like Because you mentioned earlier on that you worked for a car washing company.
Yes, of course.
So it's not like that wasn't your dream job, right? But it's
It
something
was a
that you
stepping stone.
needed
I
to
needed
do to
to
get to a certain level. But in doing that, you were still smiling when a customer came.
course.
So I feel like what people don't understand is, like I said, right? I feel like first God will test you with small platforms before you get to the bigger platforms. And he will test how you can handle
You need to be
frustrating
able to
moments, how
handle the tough
Exactly.
times, the small
Exactly.
things. If you can't handle those small
Exactly.
things,
So
how
even if it's not a job that you love, you have a vision in mind, but you understand to say, I need resources that I can use to find my vision. And at the moment, I can only work as a cashier. Yeah, it's not like that's who you are. Like
Yeah.
the title of the job doesn't describe
who
who
you
you are. Because I've sold headsets before.
Sure.
Like I've sold screen I've sold screen protectors before.
Nice.
Like for real, man.
Really?
Like I've done different things, right? But even when I would wake up and you post, sometimes you post, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get not even one comment, not even one like, but you still do it the next day because they're like, well, if I didn't get today, maybe tomorrow.
One other thing I would say, consistency.
Exactly.
Consistency.
Exactly.
For me, when I started, I would design the ring, yes. The company would say, okay, we like these two designs, these three, we don't like them. We'll produce 20 pieces of these rings for you. We'll give you 10. Sell these, bring me back all the profits. So I would have to use my transport to take the rings to the client. I would have to negotiate and whatnot. Everything else, food. You eat in the morning. You have to say, okay, the client wants the ring at 8 a.m. You go to the office. Okay, send me your location and whatnot. Yango, the music is in Yango.
You were using your own money.
One of the things I had to do was taking a product, Keto. Taking a product to Keto, taking it to Dollar, taking it to Coffee. That was the beginning.
Yeah.
My beginning stages. You understand?
Exactly.
So then after that,
but you smile if a client asks you how much is
still
this?
enjoying what I'm doing.
You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Passion is a big thing, and for me, a scripture that always convicts me, even when I'm not like doing the thing that
feel like doing it in the morning.
Exactly.
There are days where I wake up and I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure you know this scripture, Ecclesiastes 9:10, where it says, whatever you find your hands to do it with your whole mind, as if you were working for the Lord. So for me, even if I'm asked to clean the toilet, I'm like, I'm going to do it. Maybe if I clean it so well, somebody will ask and say, who cleaned this toilet? This toilet has never been cleaned like this.
And
they'll say, bring that guy. And maybe through me interacting with them, they might find out that there's more to me just than cleaning toilets. But if I do a terrible job, they'll fire me. Or they will never call me again.
And you'll never be promoted.
And that's what people don't understand. So you smiling when a client comes in, giving them the best customer service, they'll walk away saying, you know what? That dude or that lady is so good. They might recommend you to another company.
One other thing I would like to tell you and the audience is that you can be good to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clients, the 6 clients. If they give you a bad report, it can damage your whole business. Trust me.
I agree with you.
It can damage the whole business. So you need to be very careful
I agree with you.
how you interact, or just your demeanor, your presence. How do you make
Exactly.
How you make the client
energy.
feel the
Energy.
How the client feels when they leave that
Yes.
show.
Yes. Because business is about creating a client and keeping them.
It's not that it's easier to keep a client than to gain a new client, a new customer.
Yes. The other question is, what's the worst advice you've ever received from a business perspective, and you followed it, and man, you're like, damn, this.
I don't think I've really had it. Well, there's an uncle who would discourage me to say, these are not really nice designs. Okay, like I would design, I would draw, you know what I mean?
We always have those.
I would draw and
say something negative.
Say, well, what do you think of this? And I would say, what's this? They're who are better than you. They're professionals who can do better.
Yeah.
So do you think you can beat these guys?
And when you're coming up, it can be very discouraging.
Very discouraging and whatnot. So that's why I would like to find the right people. Don't just take your ideas to anyone. You might end up like this stories you hear of. I take my idea to a friend, then my friend goes and takes the idea. It becomes his idea.
Especially if you didn't even patent it or you didn't register it. Now you start like, oh my god.
So be very particular.
Yeah.
Don't just share your ideas and your vision.
I agree with
Don't stranger.
I agree. We've spoken so much about business. I want to talk about the romantic space.
Sure.
The romantic space. I feel like a lot of you few more minutes, right? I know you're a busy guy, right? And the fact that this wasn't even planned, so I appreciate you for doing this.
About the time advice, and I always like to when it's I always like to give advice. I've always got time for someone who's willing to at least listen to that.
Exactly.
Don't take it, okay, but fine, but just listen.
Remind me of this quote that says, information is always there. It's just waiting for somebody to ask.
Knowledge is power. That's why even someone who's not finished, this guy the Facebook guy, he didn't finish.
Yeah.
He's university.
Yeah,
he has not degree.
Yeah.
But he had the knowledge.
Exactly. Knowledge is not, and when you say knowledge, some people attach it to school only.
No, it doesn't.
That's why they miss it.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the romantic space, because I feel like a lot of you entrepreneurs neglect that space because you're so focused on building business after business.
Well,
especially if you're a portfolio entrepreneur, like you're building multiple businesses.
Okay.
Are you married? Are you dating? Are you?
I'm single. I want just. Am I allowed to give the information out?
If you are uncomfortable,
I don't mind doing. Where exactly?
It's going on YouTube and Facebook. So we advertise on Facebook, then the full episode goes on YouTube.
So currently single.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to mingle with particular individuals.
Okay.
I don't want to mingle with someone who isn't passionate enough, who isn't willing to work, who has no vision for their own life. You know what I mean? My partner, the partner I would like to be with, someone similar to me, someone who's hardworking, who's got a family background.
The family oriented.
Yeah, family oriented. I don't want a loner to say to separate from people. I like to be around people.
I like that.
And also someone who's sporty.
Because you're a coach.
Yeah, fitness is important. You see, health. Your body is really important. You need to take care of yourself. If someone isn't, females don't like to exercise, and most of them. If you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of them?
Yeah.
In a relationship, you need to love yourself before you can love someone.
Yes. So what I want to ask is this thing that a lot of Christians use in the dating space is, because I believe you're a Christian, is being equally yoked. Right? Being equally yoked to somebody. So we shouldn't be equally yoked to non-believers.
No.
We should be yoked to believers. So in relationships, right? For you, when you hear that, like, how do you interpret that, or how do you describe that as in wanting a partner that you can be equally yoked with? How does that look like?
Your environment. Mostly, us entrepreneurs find our partners in either our same niche or a niche that we would like to go in but can't go in currently. Yes. So you would say that I would find someone I'm interested in who does similar thing to what I'm doing. Maybe she does glass designing or designing interior of houses and whatnot. Yeah, that's where maybe you would find your partner. You'll be able to interact and have something in common with the person. Because it's a bit difficult to see. I'm doing jewelry or consoles or whatever, and so she's back. So she needs to be at the office the whole day.
Different language.
Yeah, at what time? It's a whole different.
Yeah.
Or she's an economist. So what time do we have to spend time with each other? Understand? Yeah. Because she'll be working with the bank, she needs to be at the office age, she comes up late, cooking, maybe I'll then have to start to cook and so it's a bit so hard.
I hear you. So let me share something that I have come across recently, right? So, because like back then, I believe the same thing to say the goal must be align, the vision, the principles, everything must be aligned. Who has to be equally yoked. But I came across this understanding of to say, if say I'm so good at finances, like I'm responsible, I'm disciplined around money, I should find somebody who let me flip it back, right? If I'm irresponsible, I'm not that disciplined, right? Like I'm hardworking. Exactly. I need to find somebody that is good at that, so that they can help me. And so what I'm trying to say is that their strength should be my weakness, and my weakness should be their strength. So that when we get together,
that's the idea of a relationship.
Even people outside should say, well, COVID or like Dixon didn't know how to do that, but now because of the partner that he has, well, look at him. He never used to go to the gym.
Excellent points.
Thank you, sir. Because, well, when Flash married that woman, she never used to go to the gym, but now because of his influence, so it's not necessary if I speak in tongues, she must speak in tongues. You know, and that's why people sometimes
misinterpret the thing.
Exactly. So for me now, I'm like, okay, we don't necessarily have to be the exact person, right? But there's some common ground, and there's room for learning. There's room for improvement. So people have step on space.
It's important to be open-minded.
Yes.
Don't close yourself off from all other niches of business and ideas, because you never know. You might look at how people advertise in the TV industry, for example, or something, or the dogs. Those who train dogs, how do they advertise? How do they do this? You maybe pick up something and try to implement it. Yeah. So don't close yourself off from the other environments, other people's, Yeah. Because I've got clients or friends actually, or say partners who's a carpenter. I've got a partner who's a carpenter. I've got someone who can help me with electricity, with the fence, solar panels. Yeah, I've got my auntie who does solar panels, so if you need someone who does solar panels, audience, let me know. That's one of my connections. I've got someone who does shipping of vehicles. So, like, for example, if you want to buy a vehicle from South Africa, let's say
you are
yeah.
It's inspiring.
Yeah. So if you say no, your network. Yeah. If I would say no, I need a vehicle. I need an Altis or a Yaris, something small. I would call the guy to say, okay, well, my friend, I need. Can you ship it for me? And he would bring it himself. He's like the owner of the company, so it won't cost him anything. Customs duty over the border now. You drive it for me, and then the only cost I would incur is the cost of the vehicle, of course. Insurance, if I would need it, paying for the number plate, whatnot. That's all I need. So I need it right now.
That's so inspiring.
That's one of
That's so inspiring.
yeah.
Because I'm picturing everything for me.
So it's important to have like different. Even if you don't think you need someone who sells shirts, who sells hats, maybe you don't like to wear hats, but you never know. You might have a client, your friend maybe wants hats.
Exactly.
You have this person, that's your connection. Okay, connect them, and this connection will give you some commission.
That's why every time I visit a new place, I need to create a connection. So that when I go back to the place, I won't struggle.
I don't know if you've noticed, I always try to get people's numbers.
I was even about to remind you the
first time, yes.
Like
when we met,
I think you got my number. Then a few minutes later, you texted me some of the products that you made, some of the products that you sold, and from there,
not really. Okay, I have the entrepreneur mindset. Yes,
it's all about money.
But I'm not always thinking of trying to sell. I'm trying to inspire someone. Like I always said, what I always in the morning, what are people going to remember me for? Yes. So even if the person I meet isn't going to purchase my product, I might help them in something else.
That's true.
So I might help them in something else, or maybe they need a bag, school bag, a laptop bag. I'll say, okay, I've met you. I know someone. They can give you a discount. Maybe the laptop is 3,500. Okay, he's my friend now, so 3,000.
Yeah.
I've helped them out, in their life, and they're a student. And that's what I like to do. Yes.
That's so dope. Now, I need two more questions. Then we can wrap it up.
Okay, sure.
Or one.
Let's have one question. I've been here for a while.
What, how would you define love? By the way, when
Valentine's.
how you describe love?
Love is okay. How can I phrase this? Willing to give something to someone without having to receive anything back. So if your birthday is next week and you need a pair of shoes, I shouldn't expect to get something in return. I would ask someone to say, can you ask Kobesh what his shoe size is? Well, what is he interested in? What type of shoe does he like to wear? You understand? And I would purchase it for you. Of course, you know the price tag. You shouldn't know how much it is. And whatnot. Yeah, and then I'll just give it to you. And it will just bring joy to the person, you know. So love is not, it's giving without wanting to always receive something back. It's more blessed to give than to receive. You understand? Yes. So love is not something, and love is a choice. Trust me. Love is a choice. If you decide to say, okay, because there'll be distractions. There's always going to be a guy who will look better than me in the relationship. Who should be just more money than me, more this, a better vehicle than me. Yes.